Now we're going to move to a different portion of the CNC patient chart. We've gone through all of the functions related to searching for individual patients and working with individual patients. And at this point it's time to start looking at functions that are designed to work with the whole practice at once. So the nice thing about being on this system is the system, it doesn't care if we're working with one patient at a time or the whole practice at a time. It can query the entire database, or it can query the database just with one patient in mind. So when we start moving into practice management, these are features designed to help the practice run, but also designed to look practice-wide at what's going on, and in half a second generates a lot of useful information. So you can see there's a lot of options in practice management. In fact, there's even more options in practice management than for working with an individual patient. And when we start drilling down and going through all these, you'll see that not every staff member needs to know all of the practice management functions. So depending on your user level, you may not see all of these options. I'm logged in as a physician, and so most options are available to me. But for front office or dietitian, you may see a shorter set of options. So really you only need to learn the options that are relevant to your role in the practice. But one option that everybody's going to want to use, that we actually added late in the development of the patient chart, was a staff messaging system. So this is to help staff with communications so that we're not leaving memos on each other's desks and yellow stickies and emails. We can do all of our communication that we need for day-to-day things within the CNC patient chart. So the create message to staff lets anybody send messages to anybody they want for the other people to look at. I would not use this for confidential messages. Everybody will be able to see them. And this is not patient specific, so these messages are just between staff members and not tied to a specific patient. The patient messages really should be done through the communications tab, either with patient messages or staff to-dos. So to clarify, if a patient is calling or we're calling a patient, that's a patient message. If we're asking each other to do something on a patient, that's a staff to-do. But if we're just trying to do messages, staff memos, informing about meetings, whatever, we can use this create message to staff for any of that. So if we click that and we go create message to staff, the table just shows other messages to staff members. Let's not look at that right now. Let's just create a message. So if you want to make a message to staff, you can just click add. And you can select who the message is from. It defaults to person logged in, but if you're logged in under a general login like front office, you may want to select your specific name so that we know who sent the message. And then you can designate anybody in the practice to send it to, or you can click everybody if everybody should get it. Just to make this simple, I'm going to send a message to myself and show you what it does. So you can put the date of the message. It defaults to today, and then you can go ahead and type in your message. Also in the messenger you can attach files. So let's say we need to include a document that everybody needs to look at. You can just say choose file and attach any file on your computer that that you need to send. So we're not going to send a file right now, we're just going to send a simple message. So when you click add, that message gets sent. And the place it gets sent to is any individual who you clicked on that to box is going to now see that they have a message from staff over here in the to-do bin. So in the to-do bin, just for me, I now have a message from staff. Other users aren't going to see that. Let's say I log out and I log in as the front office. They're not going to have this message from me. So it's specific to the people that were checked off in that message. So I'll log back out and log back in as myself. And here you'll see in my to-do bin I have a message from staff. It says I have a message from Ethan Lazarus. And this part's a little bit unique how it works, just because these are intended to be one-way messages. When you click the message, it shows you the message. If there's an attachment, you can click it down here. And as soon as you've clicked it, it's marked as done. You don't have to do anything else. You don't have to mark it. It's done. So when I say, for example, back to list, it clears that message. So I hope you enjoy using that staff messenger, and that's all we're going to do for this video.